Hey everybody, here we go again, and we're going to talk about your mid-chapter review for sections 5.1 through 5.3, which deal with reference angles, coterminal angles, finding the 6 trig functions, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to go over every problem, I'm going to go over a few key problems to give you a little bit of a leg up. So here we go. The first problem is find a positive angle less than 60 degrees or 2 pi that is coterminal with the given angle. And coterminal means it goes all the way around the block and lands in the same spot. So for instance, if you have a 10-degree angle and you go 360, you've got a 370-degree angle is the same thing. And just if you add or subtract 360 or 2 pi, you'll come to the same spot like going around the merry-go-round and landing in the same spot in the beginning. So the second part is draw the angle in standard position, and that would be between 0 and 360 or 0 and 2 pi. And the third thing is find the reference angle, and that is if the angle is more than 90 degrees, then you are going to find the reference angle that is the angle that goes from the terminal part of the angle to the x-axis. And so number 6 is negative 19 pi over 4. Well, 4 goes into 19 4 times, but 4 pi is a little bit too short because if we subtract 4 pi, which would be 16 pi over 4, we still have a negative angle. So let's go a little bit bigger. We have to go up to, 4 pi is too small, so we have to go up to 6 pi. Because remember, we have to add multiples of 2 pi or 360. So if we add 6 pi, that would be the same thing as 19 pi over 4 plus 24 pi over 4, which is 5 pi over 4. So that is our angle between 0 and 2 pi. Now the next thing we want to do is after you draw that, which is right there, we want to find the reference angle. And the reference angle is going to go from the terminal side back to the x-axis. So we're going to subtract, to find that, we're going to subtract pi, which is the same thing as 4 pi over 4. So that means that the reference angle is pi over 4. All right, number 9 is next, and we're given the point 3, negative 2, and we want to find the 6 trig functions based on that. Well, we have theta is, actually I've kind of drawn this wrong. It should go all the way up there. So it's theta goes from the x-axis to the terminal side, which is the ray that 3, negative 2 lies on. And so if we set up our reference angle, which goes back to the x-axis, we have x is 3, y is negative 2, and if we use the Pythagorean theorem, then the hypotenuse is square root of 13, and remember that's always positive. Okay, so the sine is going to be negative 2 over the square root of 13, which is negative 2 square root of 13 over 13 when you rationalize. Cosine is 3 over square root of 13, which is 3 square root of 13 or 13 when you rationalize. The tangent is negative 2 over 3. To find the other 3, we're just going to flip them upside down. So the cosecant is negative square root of 3 over 2. The secant is 3 square root of 13 over 3. And the cotangent is negative 3 over 2. I want you to notice something. If we do our all students take calculus, you know that the cosine in the fourth quadrant is the only one that's positive. Everything else is negative. So you can see that our cosine and our secant are positive. Our sine, cosecant, tangent, cotangent are negative. Just a little quick check. Okay, the next one is the tangent of theta is negative 3/4 and the cosine is less than 0. Well, the cosine less than 0 means it's negative. Well, where is the cosine negative? Well, it's negative in the second and third quadrants. And it also says that the tangent is negative 3/4. That means the tangent is less than 0, or negative, and the tangent is negative in the second and fourth quadrants. So we're dealing with the second quadrant. That's our Q's. So if we have this point in the second quadrant, that has to be a y of 4 and an x of negative 3, which would make our hypotenuse 5, a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So that means our sine is 4/5, our cosine is negative 3/5, our tangent is negative 4/3, our cosecant is 5/4, Our secant is minus 5 over 3, and our cotangent is negative 3 over 4. All right, the next question is number 13, and we're given a triangle where angle A is 41 degrees, little side B is 60 centimeters, and little side A is that's what we're looking for. So if we have this and this, that means we have something to do with the tangent. So we can say that the tangent of 41 degrees is A over 60 degrees. A over 60, I'm sorry, not 60 degrees, just 60. And that means that 60 times the tangent of 41 is 52.1, but we're asked to give this to the nearest degree, so that would be 52 degrees. Number 15, if the cosine is 1 over 6 and theta is an acute angle, find the cotangent of pi over 2 minus theta. Well, you know that the cotangent of pi over 2 minus theta is the same as the tangent of theta. That's your cofunction. Remember that the cotangent of one angle is the same as the tangent of its complement. So now we want to find, instead of cotangent of pi over 2 minus theta, we can find tangent of theta. All right, so let's take a look at this. Theta is acute, which means it's going to be in the first quadrant, somewhere in the first quadrant, and cosine is 1 over 6, so that means the opposite, or the adjacent will be 1, and the hypotenuse will be 6, so we need to find the opposite side, which will be the square root of 36 minus 1, which is the square root of 35. So now if we want to find the tangent of theta, it is square root of 35. All right, so there you go, folks. Hope you do well on your test. Keep studying. Make sure you memorize all those key things that I ask you to, because there's no notes on this test. Bye.